You're watching Fine and Dandy. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and you need to check out the Fine and Dandy podcast.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy.
Watch the Fine and Dandy podcast. Good shit.
Hey, what's up? We're Soe, and you're watching Fine and Dandy.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Blacasso, and you're tuning in with Fine and Dandy.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy!
Bueno, sí.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's me and the cough man himself, coughing it up, coughing, all the way to the coffin.
Coffin. You know what time it is, folks.
It's the time.
It's another week of Shine and Shandy.
Shine and Shandy, you know, where we like to shine shoes and drink shandies, baby.
Dine and Dandy.
Slime and Randy. It's where we take Randy Orton and we RKO people into slime.
Rhyme and Candy would be cool.
That would be kind of cool. It's like a lyrical, like, candy fest.
We had, just a bunch of candy, and you pick one out of the bowl.
And then you got to rhyme with
and
it.
then you just
so it's like improv, but like candy.
Yeah, you just got to pull out of...
Are we talking about like wrist candy or like Tootsie Roll candy?
Just whatever we get from Sweetwater when we whenever we order the audio.
Hey, those fucking candies that come with Sweetwater are so... It's honestly kind of disrespectful. It's like you guys are getting all this money every year from all these people, and you're sending them fucking peppermints and sweet tarts, you motherfuckers.
Hey, it's better than Guitar Center. Shit, fuck you, Guitar Center.
What did Guitar Center do?
Price everything. You go to Sweetwater, you're like, oh, it's a pretty good deal, and then the customer service, you know, is going to be great. And if anything's wrong with it, you can call them anytime, and then they'll fucking send it. Like, the rep will answer, and they're like, no, you know what, fuck it, just send it back, and we'll just send you a new one. Guitar Center's like, you're fucked. Sorry, you bought it. That's your fault.
That's an L. It's
$200 overpriced.
It's
already.
like the fucking dude who convinces a single mom of four that her oil change costs $475.
When I saw a post somewhere, he's like, "Why is fucking Jiffy Lube trying to charge me $175 for an oil change?" Hey, your air filter. Shut the fuck up, dude.
It's like maybe I've been out the game for a little bit, but that seems pretty outrageous.
Oh no, I fucking don't get me wrong. I get it. You're paying a convenience fee when you go to like take 5 or whatever. Cool, I'll pay the $80 or $90 if I'm in a hurry, right?
But even that,
if I have time, I'll go to a car dealership and pay my $60, or not car dealership, fucking
like a mechanic shop.
Yeah.
But even that, it's like there's places like I think not to like give them a shout out, but Grand Slam Car Wash. They used to do my oil change for like $45 to $60, somewhere in that range. I don't remember exactly, but it would come with a free car wash. Like, you get your oil change for cheaper than what everybody else around town apparently is paying, and you get your fucking car wash.
That's a great deal. That is a great deal. Mine is always a little bit. I always have to get this.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. See, I'm not ready because I just got a new car, so I haven't yet had to do the maintenance, but the maintenance light just came on, so I need to take it in. But I'm not really prepared for what it's gonna cost because I don't know what type of oil it is yet. I haven't had to worry about that yet.
If you semi-synthetic, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
More than likely.
And then my fucking registration is going to go out in August, so I got to start planning for that.
Then some bills going to come up after that, and then...
And it just keeps coming in and don't stop coming in and don't stop coming in and don't stop coming.
Don't stop coming in and won't stop coming. That for an hour.
But for bills.
Yeah. Do that for... I just put that on the background, and it'll go forever, because that'll be the theme song to your life forever. Never stop, because stop coming and don't stop coming and it never ends, and that's how you till you die.
Jesus. I mean, that's not far from the truth, but
we're fucking back, guys.
We're back in the building, dude. The building is backing us.
Yeah, whoa. Dude. Fucking. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you're glad that we're back. About to be fucking.
Don't stop there.
About to don't stop coming. And this still won't stop coming, bro. Hey, we're moving though soon, so that's gonna be sick. Been busy recently working because we're about to move into a new house. So that's sick. Studio's gonna be updated. We're gonna fucking get some guests on. We have some guests lined up, but we just want to wait till we get the new spot, so that way we're coming. with a vengeance.
It is.
Well, I don't know if it's a vengeance.
It is
We're not
weird
really
because
getting
this
back
is
at
gonna
it.
be our 5th set, I think.
Is it really? Because
I
there was
think
the
'cause
garage.
we started it at Chances.
Chances that was
Then there was the garage,
garage.
and
And
then
we did
so
that dining room for a little
to
bit.
a degree, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I think there was a couple episodes that didn't have video where we were at your apartment, in Green Cay, that we recorded like
You
on
count
your
that
desk.
as we can count that.
So that kind of was our set. It just wasn't on videos. But
was
on our
one.
video sets, this will be our 4th. It's gonna be our
No, I
5th
think-
audio set.
No, I think 5th. Because wait,
No, because there's just
There's
Chances, the
Chances.
garage, the other room over there, and then here.
here, that'll be our.
Oh, you're right. So it'll be
Yeah.
our 5th video, 6th audio. Kinda, I guess. It depends on how you look
But
at
it'll
it.
be our
but
best
yeah,
one yet. It'll be our best one yet. We've
but what
only
I was
improved.
where I was
so-
going with that is that like it being, I guess, us having so many like adjustments to sets and things like that, I kind of now have like a vision of how I want it to look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of be a little bit more invigorated on like the furniture, a little bit more open style, with like still having our decorations up in different color schemes that we've used for a while, but also would be maybe a little bit more spread out to have like the openness fill in the room a little bit.
Yeah, I think.
I think for here we've been a little cramped, and while we've done relatively well for ourselves in using the space like properly, just going
Hard to fit people in this.
it's hard. It's especially when you're trying to do multiple guests. It's not simple. It's a task. But I think that we're really set up for a good position, because like just looking at the layout of like spacing in the house that we'll be at, where we're gonna build our new studio, it's got a lot of different angles and options for us that we haven't really had before to a degree. Because even when we were in the garage, we kind of like, people don't know that room was kind of split, where this like we were kind of only using like a portion of the room to a degree. And even when we moved to that like more open room over in the house, that was like more, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a dining room. That room was weird, if you remember, like the windows that it had that we had to cover up, and then that archway that it had. It was just like a strange setup to put podcast furniture to a degree.
Oh, we could have probably utilized it a little. But
Absolutely.
also, fuck that.
Fuck that room. But so I think this is going to be one of the first and maybe only times we've been able to actually like
Do what we want.
manipulate the space, if
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Do what we want. That'll be super. It'll be sick to see. Can't wait. Fuck. Y'all keep fucking watching, dude. Tell your friends and
No, dude.
go with a megaphone and scream at the top of Fine and Dandy.
But I think we should like, so I
Fine
mean,
and Shandy.
one of my plans is once we get into this house that
Fine and
every
Randy.
like 3 to 6 weeks to have like a barbecue with like all the homies, people that are local, fucking artists that want to come by, like just for the family type shit, but also for the culture to a degree. And like we could
Fine
also,
and Dandy Grill.
dude, why not
Fine and Dandy Grill set.
grill
Why
off?
don't we just start doing
Cook
shit?
off. That's what I'm saying. Fine
Oh.
and dandy fucking turtle races. Fine and dandy fucking
that.
flag football.
Why don't
I
we
got-
do? We could do live pod, or we just get the like someone's grilling in the back, and it's just us chatting and we fucking just.
Or do like a Master Chef type of shit, where to see who here thinks they can cook the best burger. Do like a fucking competition podcast. I mean, just fucking around and having fun with the homies while also enjoying what we do. It's always been the vision.
We do more stuff. Actually, speaking of that, it's crazy because I got from when I left, I got a lot of inspiration.
Where'd you go?
Oh, thank you for. I'm glad that you asked.
So naturally, right?
Wow, I can't believe that it came up like that. No, but I did get a lot of inspiration. I'm gonna, but I gained a lot of inspiration. Some of the art that I saw there and just people are doing. I went to Soul Fest, Florida.
What's Soulfest, Daniel?
All right. It's a small festival, it's around 10,000 Ponce de Leon, Florida, Holmes County. There you go. Yeah, there's it. Wow, Josh.
Wow.
So it's almost like you had it ready.
No, that I'm
Crazy.
fast.
Holy shit. But yeah, so it was around 10,000 attendees. Ponce de Leon, Florida, Holmes County, fuck them. But
Fuck the county.
fuck the county for sure, pieces of shit. I'll get into that more later. But so it's water pool parties during the day. It's like a lazy river, but it's a natural spring. And they usually there's music playing during the day. It opens I think around like 11 or something. I don't know. I was never there. Might have been 10 or 11. And then goes up until like I think closes at 5.
Okay.
But we usually left the springs around 4. Went back
the springs
to camp.
is where like the pool parties were.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a natural spring.
Okay.
It's a lazy river though.
So it went in a circle.
No.
Okay.
Kind of.
I feel like when you think of lazy river, you
Circle.
think of like a surrounding some like landmass type of thing. Like it
Yeah.
goes around and you kind of like just hang out in it and you'll end up back in the same place. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there are the other ones where it's kind of like fucking the rivers in like San Marcos where they take you like at the to the top of the river and you fucking go down and then if you want they'll take you back up to the top, but it's not like a fucking like a circle or anything like that. You know what I mean?
It's not like that. It'll just like goes. You can go back.
Okay. So, but is it like running water? Like it'll push you like downstream?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of. The water definitely moves.
Okay.
But they had one part of it closed off for diving. Diving was super expensive. I mean, which I assume is the probably average price to go like diving with.
Okay, like
was-
on an excursion on
It
a
was
vacation type of thing.
exactly. It was
Yeah.
around that price. Which I don't. I think I saw one person maybe go do it, which is like, fuck is to have it there is a cool option.
How much was
in
it?
theory? $350.
Jesus, to
Yeah.
learn how, do they teach you how to dive, or is it just access
They go
to
over
diving?
No. So they go over like they give you like a whole like
Feel.
down and
Damn.
they supply the gear.
Okay, I'm thinking of just a fucking diving board on the side of like a river. You're talking about actually like scuba diving type of
There's
thing.
like fish down there.
Okay.
And like different shit you can go see down there. It goes pretty far down.
I'm
You could,
over
like,
here
dive.
thinking that there's like a fucking rope across like a fucking cliff that you can dive off of into this water, and they're like $350 to dive off, dude.
Nah. That would be fucked. They did have a diving board though.
Was it sick?
What, the diving board?
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, I went on it. I was doing the high dive. Probably why I
Okay.
got sick. That water just go into my neck. I was doing the high dive. I didn't do the rope swing this time. The rope swing would have been fun. But it was pretty sick. It was like further down the river, right, was where the stage was. It sucked because the stage wasn't like right where the main river where everyone
Right.
was at. But they did have a big LED screen with a bunch of speakers, so you could hear it and party at it. And the other end had the stage. I mean, that wasn't open right away, but it was a lot of fun. It was very inspiring. Just seeing a lot of like people's artwork and seeing like some of the booths and seeing what people are capable of. But there was during the campsite when we went to go get ice one of the days, I saw that someone was doing like it was something late night show is what they called it. But
So this is the grounds
Yeah.
type of thing of like where everything was.
yeah,
Where was the river at in like
You
context of this?
see where the blue is right there?
Like this right here.
Yeah, that was
That's where like the
That's
hangout
where the
where the
water
pool
was.
parties were.
yeah. So you would
Okay.
go straight down that path and straight to
So you were in between two stages while you're at the pool parties. That's what it looks like on here. There's the mine stage and then there's another.
Well, that's a whole nother
stage.
area.
Oh,
Because there's
okay.
3 stages, but only one plays at a time.
Oh, okay.
So
So
the
you
wa-
never miss a show.
Yeah, there's no set. You don't miss a set.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so there's the pool
Because
party
I know like
stage.
other festivals, it's almost like you have to make a decision between
yeah.
who you want to watch at that time slot type of thing.
Yeah, that's why
pretty-
Wakan
pretty
was such
sick.
a game changer for me. Because
Yeah.
it was just like big chill fest. Like first year was awesome. Last year was still really fun, but it lost a little. Like it's the people. The more popular something gets, you're always gonna there before, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, I mean, I wasn't there for the first year, but the first Wakan I went to, second year, and everyone brought inflatable couches. People were bringing full like their air mattress style couches in, just bringing whatever in, pretty much. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it probably was a hazard. I get it, but like in a lot of small festivals like that, like more boutique homie fest style festivals, you bring in a lot of that because you're at one stage the whole day. So I'm not standing. I don't give a fuck. Fuck all you people who are like, oh, I hate couches. Fuck you. I don't care. I'm not standing the whole time. My knees start to fucking hurt. My back starts to hurt.
Yeah.
If I'm at one stage all day, I'm going to fucking sit down, you know what? People could be like, you old fucks. I don't care. Fuck you, young fucks. How about that? You
Yeah.
fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
But also, it's
I want to
like,
enjoy the shit too. Let me
it's-
enjoy how I want
It's
to.
not like you're not gonna get up off the couch
I
and move
dance.
around.
I still
It's-
dance a lot.
It's just that this is nice to have if I do want to relax or if my knees do start to hurt. And it's like anybody that's like, you old fucks, da da da. It's like, I'd rather be called an old fuck than have my knees hurt, which
Yeah.
yours are going to.
Exactly. and the internet, you know, complained and bitched. So then Wakan was like, all right, no more of the like air mattress style couches, which was like I could still get, but it's still gonna be a bunch of the
So
fucking.
it's just the inflatable ones
It's
now.
still gonna be a bunch of those. So and then they were about to be like no wagons, and that was a big thing. It's like what the fuck? Because that like the thing is with the wagons, dude. Wagons are a pivotal part of the experience for me because it's like I'm not going back to camp
Yeah.
or to grab something, and I don't want to carry everything in my fucking hands.
Right.
And you know what? Like, don't.
And even a backpack isn't super practical for heavy stuff or like bulky stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, you know, especially once again at a festival where it's all at one stage for primarily the entire day, I'm gonna fucking sit.
Right.
I'm gonna bring a wagon and I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna have an option to sit down and bring my wagon so I
I'm
can
gonna have my activities with me. I'll have some snacks. I'll have maybe some drinks. I'll do whatever I want because I mean I paid so much to be here.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the thing is like don't get me wrong. Our camp, luckily we usually get there early day, so our camp's never too far. But there's motherfuckers who are taking a 15-minute walk,
Right.
a 20-minute walk to the venue from their camp.
And because
So it's like let them bring the fucking wagon.
yeah,
Like they don't want to
That's
carry
tough.
that shit all the way.
it's tough because it's like, what is the argument against the wagon? Did somebody get their fucking
Safety.
foot ran over or something?
No, just like like let's say like something were to happen, exit promptly.
So it's a fire hazard or something, or what?
Kinda.
What are they framing it as?
Yeah, well, it's mostly just people bitching and complaining
Yeah.
because they don't understand. It's people that don't understand that culture because they're used to the bigger style ones where it's like multiple stages and like
But you're
Why-
always moving around.
why the fuck do you? It's like, well, yeah, I get it. If you're constantly moving around, there's a bunch of shit, But if I'm just here for the music and I'm at this stage primarily for most of the day, I want to be able to relax. And some
Yeah.
not everyone's gonna be on board. But yeah, so Soulfest was like that too. You could bring in the venue. It was such a wild experience. Like I've been going to festivals forever long. This one really brought me to my core of like my childhood, and like my childlike wonder. You know what I mean? Of just like at the core of what being a human being is,
Right.
being silly. That was just happening there. Soulfest was a fucking beautiful, chaotic mess. The way I would look at it, like there was a lot of points where it was like, oh fuck, this is a rough time, but then there was a
Right.
lot of points that were like, holy shit, this is.
Yeah, I can see that, but I think that's one of those things where as things lead into chaos is where you can start like actually making sense of things to a degree,
Yeah.
and you can start actually putting things in order whenever they're out of order to a degree. I don't know. It's like it's almost like it gives you a sense of control once you have an understanding that everything is out of control. That sounds kind of
Yeah,
stupid, but
the thing was with like some of the bullshit that was going on, everyone kind of doubt, like the attendees, right? Like the
Yeah.
other festival campers. There were some people online I saw after the fact. Expected this 5-star, fucking
experience.
like. Don't get me wrong, you paid money, which I will say, Soulfest was on the cheaper side, like one of the cheapest experiences festival you're gonna get
Yeah.
anywhere, right? But there was room for improvement. I mean, they're a smaller fest. It's only 2 festival promoters, so it's 2 of them trying to get all this whole team together and build this whole thing.
And it
But
was a new venue, like
first year at a new venue.
Yeah.
Only this is only their 3rd year doing it. You know what I mean? Still figuring out a lot of things. And people want to compare. Like I heard people even while we were there trying to like complaining about little things and trying to compare to something like Halloween, which has been doing it for 10+ years at the same exact venue. Like yeah, when you have the same people who've been working that festival for 10 years, right?
Yeah,
It's
comparing
easier
it
to
to
bring
something
newer
that's just-
people on and train them, and they know the venue like the back of their fucking hand. This is a place that's
It's unrealistic to compare it to something that's already established like that.
yeah, it's hard, And was there kinks? Sure, right? And
I mean-
I'm not saying like, there's no room for.
There's chunks.
yeah, right. We'll get to that. Don't worry, this whole thing won't be about the festival. But this
Might be.
experience,
We'll
this-
see.
yeah, this experience was just, it was one of a kind for me, like festival wise. Just like the energy there was great, the people were great, and it really did make the experience that much better, dude. People were just like some of the people were dressed up as construction workers one day, but they were carrying around like fucking clipboards and shit, and just like I was like, damn, dude, it would be funny if they were giving out like like tickets, like you can't, sorry, you can't under construction, just like in construction zone, but they had clipboards.
Is it, you need a hard hat here, son.
Real shit. Someone came up to me one of the nights. Hey, give me. He's like, I got him. He like crouched down, and I looked over. I was like, what the fuck? So I crouched down with him. He's like, got a mission for you. I was like, I'm ready, boss. And he's like, I need you to do the best alien impression. You have to imagine that the alien is orange, one eye.
What?
And he's like, here, I'll do mine.
I'll do mine.
I'll do mine. And then I did mine. He's like, but he had like a little finger, like alien. It was like a little rubber thing you put on your finger. But it was like a little alien. It was orange, which I was like, all right.
It's like, what does the color or him having one eye have to do with my impression of him?
Yeah, it was hilarious. I wore my spinny hat, and people loved that shit.
The fire hat.
Yeah, people like someone did say it reminded like someone else said it reminded them of Reginald Simpson. I didn't know. Mickey Mouse Glizzy House. That was specifically what check out, and I didn't. He was serious though. He was really devoted to explaining it to me. One of my favorite moments though. Logistics and
The logistics
and the
is
crazy
that we're
shit
calling it.
well, no, some of the logistics of the festival, and then also the crazy shit that happened while I was there. Fuck, what was it?
Melon.
It was, yeah. My boy Melon Man, really, he was going for John. I don't know if you ever seen that in Eddie. It was going for Johnny when Johnny had the melon. You should actually look that up. I forgot. I didn't think. Look up Johnny from Ed, Ed and Eddie, but with the melon on his head.
I'm trying to see if there's anybody that's like said anything about Melon Man at Soulfest real quick, but I got you. Johnny from
Ed, Ed and Eddie. So Johnny's the one, as most of you probably know, Plank. So I'm gonna wait till he pulls it up.
Oh, this is you.
Go to images.
Well, when it's on images, it's real small, so I'm trying to like.
That's not it. Yeah, go. We're getting there.
Mr. Johnny, Mr. Plank, Mr. Johnny and Plank, Johnny Big,
Plank, Johnny Plank.
Johnny
Yeah, hell yeah.
Plank. Johnny Plank.
That
This guy.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It was more so like this guy had a watermelon taped to the side, duct taped to the side of his head, and Plank was duct taped to the top of the melon, which was duct taped to the side of his head. And he had no shirt on, and he was using a pashmina as a cape.
And he had like duct tape in his hair, right?
Well, no, the duct tape was on his head.
So like all in.
It was just on straight duct tape to melon to head. To Plank to melon to head, duct tape.
So
dog.
like was playing like vertical or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah.
like kind of like.
No, it was
on his
vertical. It was
shit,
straight.
okay.
It was straight. It was you had to get close. And you're like, oh, that's what's going on. But so we were like,
very specific.
yeah, we were going to the porta potties. It was me, my girlfriend, the homie Ali, and the other homie Tommy. And sorry, mom, but so we were
Hey, man.
under the influences of some substance. So we were feeling a little loosey goosey, little
Little goosey loosey, nothing
Yeah.
wrong with the goose loose.
a little silly. So we're waiting on one person to come back out of the porta potty. They come out, and then one of my homies is like, "Yo, did you see that guy walking around with the melon?" This is the last day, by the way. The melon duct taped to his head, and I was like, "Yeah." So it's just first of all, it's like this guy wore this all 4 days. It was a 5-day, but like early day, really no one was there. I'm gonna get into that a little bit, but For all 4 days, he was wearing this fucking not even a uniform. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't even know what to call it. Just
Costume, maybe. I don't know. But it's one of those things where you're like, does he wake up every day and put it on, or does he sleep like
in
that?
a watermelon.
Yeah, does he just sleep and wake up? Which it's unhinged either way. A little unhinged either way you look at it. Dedication.
I think it's more unhinged to do it every day. I think it's less unhinged to do it once and then like not want to go through the work of taking it off for the next day. I think it's more unhinged to take it off, set it aside, and then rinse repeat tomorrow morning.
Wake
for
up
3.5 days.
looking at yourself fucking duct tape.
On the third day, you're just like, I'm almost out of duct tape, but I have to do this for the people.
And yeah, so he's like, "Did you see that dude with the shit?" And we're like, "Yeah." And then we look over, like, "Dude, he's right there." We're like, "Oh shit!" And he looks over and he's like, "Oh!" And we're like, "Oh fuck!" And he comes over, he's like, "Hey, you guys!" Like, this is how he's talking, dude. Like, he's in character. This guy is dedicated to who he is. He's like, "Hey, you guys! Like, who's your favorite set of the weekend?" And I'm like, "Glitch Mob was awesome." He's like, "Yeah!" Like, screams it, puts his arms out wide, and I'm just like, "Oh shit!"
Embraces you guys.
No, not yet though. He's like,
that was later.
He was like, "Yeah!" He's like, "You know what? Come here, you guys. Get in here." And then he like group hugs us. He's like, "I love you guys. Like, y'all want to see something cool?" And we're like, "Yeah!" Right? It's just like little kids. Yeah,
Please.
he, like, puts his hand together. He's like rubbing together. Starts crouching down low, just like, and he jumps up with it, throws his hands up, and it's just as loud as he can. And he goes, "Alan!" And mind you, he has a cape on. He puts one hand on, like in a fist on his side, with his finger out, like a hero would do when they fly away, and he just runs off into the. This is not where that story ends, by the way. We're laughing so hard because we're like, this happens within like a 1 minute time span.
Yeah.
A lot going on. We're like, what the fuck just happened? So we go back. We're chilling. We're just kicking it back at our spot in the crowd, right? And then we're like telling our friends. We're laughing for like 5 minutes, giggling. And then we're telling our friends. And as soon as we finish, we look up and walking right in front of us in the crowd's fucking melon man Johnny. Just fucking walking right. And we're like, "Oh shit!" And then he sees us and again goes, "Oh!" It's just like, "Oh!" And then behind him, there's this thing that just shoots fire. And right in that moment, the thing behind him just goes off and shoots the fire. There's
Behind him while he's got his hands in the air.
We're just like, we're just like, "Oh shit!"
What the fuck?
That was a highlight, dude. Melon Man, you live in my heart. You live in all of our hearts, dude. He's the real hero of the night.
Johnny Watermelon Seeds.
Yeah, Johnny Apple Watermelon. Watermelon, yeah, melon seed, Johnny.
Melon Seed
Johnny
Johnny,
boy.
dude.
Oh, Ed
Johnny
boy.
Boy.
Johnny boy.
Ed Boy.
Yeah,
That shit's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, there's no words for meeting a guy like that. It's just like only it's at a festival type shit.
No, really. I mean, we saw a bunch of just weird shit like that. But it really is one of those moments where you're like, this is what we could be, just our silliest goofy selves. Like, but we bound ourselves to these dumbass rules. I should be an accountant.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do the job. Don't get me wrong. Not gonna be me, but someone should be an accountant to take care of people's finances.
Yeah.
They need it. But just like seeing all these people, just the silliest, goofiest selves, and it like basically like create some of these pure moments that you could not just.
That's
Moments
fair.
so pure and goofy
Yeah, I get
that
that.
it's almost like
How is this
you
possible?
can't make this shit up. Like, it's like, I couldn't write that shit if I tried. That is the silliest shit I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's like just tons of moments like that. You just look over and you're like, the fuck is going on over there? And it's just all of it, just some of the craziest, wildest shit. Like, dude, literally at one point it was like people were doing like like hitting the rope swing, and there's just some guy on the other side of the river just like scoring them. And all it is a 1 and a 0. So you're either getting a 10 or a 0, basically. It's all he had.
It's a good system.
That was it. That was fucking it. That shit was just like seeing people jump up, cheering like someone going up to do the rope swing, and people just, just cheering you on for no reason, just going absolutely nuts for. They don't even know this guy.
They
Just
don't even know why they're going nuts.
Just everyone, woo! Like you could just hear it erupt down the river. Like everybody just cheering for no absolute fucking reason, just going nuts. Looking over, just someone hitting the rope swing. Yeah, probably. It was fucking hilarious. Or like people going around with fucking water guns, spraying people for no reason. There was 2 dudes dressed in these not Patriot, but like they had leotards, wrestling, style shit.
Yeah.
It was an American flag. They had like the wigs on that were mullets, and they had like reflective shades on. Then they had the I don't know what they're called, but like the thing like kind of battle with, you know what I'm saying?
It's like foam
on the
stuff,
ends.
yeah.
Yeah. And they get on the diving board, and then they like fucking get like everyone riled up. And was, whoa! It was just torqued for no reason. Watching these guys battle, one of them knocks him off into the water.
Well, that shit is fun.
Yeah, and everyone it just erupts into everyone going, it's just no reason. You know what I'm saying?
My boy.
Dude, and their floats were tanks
That's kind
that
of
shot water.
Oh, that's
They
definitely
had water
sick.
guns attached to like the top, and it like they suctioned up water from the bottom,
That's super
and you could
sick.
sit in it. Water from.
That's awesome.
No, they were.
I kind of want one of those.
I do. I do for sure. It's probably one of the sickest things I've ever seen. I was like, holy shit. But going back to early day, so going into some logistics, when people, I get people's complaints. Like ADA could have been better. I heard some of the VIP stuff. They didn't get anything that they had promised. Looking up like tank styled. Theirs was all American flag though. There wasn't like regular tank.
Like
Dead
the
Patriot on
USA.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But previous day, we got there early day. We got into town at like 8 or 9 in the morning. Mind you, police are arresting people already that time.
As you got there?
Well, we didn't. There was cops patrolling the Walmart parking lot and driving up and down. But like you could see posts. People were already getting pulled over like early in the morning, trying to get to the venue. Which also, when people were leaving, they were pulling people.
Yeah.
They arrested but we got there like 8 a.m. because we were like, because the doors opened at 10.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, we got to stop at Walmart, right? We'll probably stock up on everything, get groceries, ice, everything that we need, take a breather because we were driving for fucking
11 hours.
Yeah,
or
roughly,
however
right?
long.
Well, it's a 9.5 drive, but making stops. So roughly
yeah,
11
on the road
hours
for 11
drive.
hours.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we make our stop, whatever, and then it had stormed the night before. So you get the message early in the morning saying we don't know when we're gonna open. Basically, we're still working on it. Grounds aren't looking good right now, so people are bitching like, why don't you just put gravel down or this and that? I'm like, I don't think you know how mud and dirt works. You can't just throw gravel on there and be like,
it'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You could probably throw some shit and try to hope that it dries up faster.
I mean, you could probably do it with like a lot of gravel, but in a short amount of time, like without too much notice or resources, you might not have too much gravel on hand.
Once again, they're not a big corporation like Insomniac, Disco Donnie.
And they obviously didn't have the help of the county.
The county did not want us there, bro. They hated us. But yeah, so people are already complaining about that. Like, give us our refund if we're not going to get in right. We're going to plan to set up. Don't get me wrong. Some people got in like 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. We got somewhat lucky. Doors opened at 3:30. Got pushed back. We ended up being we chilled at a rest stop, just posted up under the trees for a little bit. Some people went to like a little lagoon. Some other people went to a different springs. Did their own pre-party there and shit. Ravers will make shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fuck it. We're here. Buy some shit. We're going to be all right. So we were just posted up, chilling. We took little naps and shit out there. I didn't. I was kicking it, but a few of the homies rested while shit. Listened to some music. 3:30. Like we were like, let's just go get food. Legitimately, as we were leaving, like about to pull onto the main road, they send the message. Doors open.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, fuck food. We're let's fucking book it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we book it fucking there, and we get there. We have to stop. We probably would have got in earlier, but we had to stop and get my wristband because it had to return to sender. Because for some reason, every time with fucking FedEx or fucking
Out of here.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It always like
They suck about that
even
shit.
if I
They'll
put-
leave a sticker just 'cause.
I'll put my
I think
apart-
it's UPS, not FedEx.
might be UPS. But it's like I put my apartment number, and even if I do put my, sometimes it's like, oh, you didn't put your apartment number, and they were. I went the next day. They're like, oh no, we send everything back the day of. I was like,
That's fucking
I was like,
ridiculous.
man, fuck you guys. It is UPS, and actually this was USPS. I'm sorry, but also UPS.
Fuck them all.
fuck all you fuckers. I was like, motherfucker, bro. So we had to stop and get out my wristband.
At like their office or whatever.
No, they have just like a booth.
Oh,
Which they had to move that because the fucking commissioner of the city was bitching because like y'all are blocking traffic. I was like, there's not even that much traffic on right now, dog. There wasn't. But he was just pissed. I was like, aren't you supposed to be able to direct traffic? That's like part of your fucking
I still
civil
have a
service.
department for that.
Like that's part of your civil service, you fuck. But
Like,
yeah.
yeah, but I don't want to have to do it.
that's what it was. He did not want to direct traffic. That commissioner also, by the way, in 2017 busted a festival at that venue and did a fucking raid the last day and busted a bunch of people and made a ton of arrests, which then led him to become sheriff, which then led him to become the commissioner. So we weren't looking great for the weekend, if that sets the tone at all.
Damn.
But when we were getting our wristbands, the commissioner came up and yelled at one of like the guys. He's like, "Ooh," he's like, "we need y'all to fucking move this shit. Like you're blocking traffic." Literally, one of the employees that's just like doing shit. He's like, "I'm not doing anything." He's like, "I've been sitting here like kind of getting an attitude with the bag. Like I've been sitting here this whole time. I don't direct traffic. That's not my job. My job is to make sure this goes well. Like I can get somebody for you." He's like, "Who's in charge here?" It just starts yelling, bro. Like dude's pissed for no. Like, what are you so mad for? For no, just mad because he wants to be. So then we get sent over, and right when we're about to pull into like the main area to go with it, they close it off. They close that off, and like you have to go around, do this whole thing. We wait for 3.5 hours in that line to get.
Damn.
So we got there at 3:30. We didn't get in, set up camp till like.
Damn. And sun was going down. Type
Yeah,
shit.
we missed all the sets for that. I mean, I wasn't tripping. I just wanted to get set up. I did want to catch the set. But relatively, I still wasn't mad. I was like, it's not their fault. People were blaming them. They're like, you should at least still give us. Which I get. Maybe should compensate. But I also get the fact that it's like.
It's not their fault.
You also have a lot riding on those sales. You know, and it's like, how much do you want the festival to return and like come back? You know what I mean? There's a lot of festivals dying right now because pre-sales and, early day tickets aren't moving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that the first day was kind of fucked, but also they can't control the weather. But can't control the weather. So it's like, fuck, dude. They tried their best. They had excavators out there. They did end up putting like some gravel-esque shit. And a lot of people don't realize, too, there was still a lot of areas muddy that they couldn't use. So they end up having to cram some people in later days towards the back because they didn't have as much space. Because they were giving us the regular spots they promised, because we got there early. But as you realize you're running out of space,
that's tough.
You have to cram people together, which will lead to shit that happens, which becomes a fault. Which it sucks because you're like, dude, they oversold. It's like maybe they didn't oversell. They just sold for what they had originally, and then you lose a lot of that space due to.
I think that's overselling, though. No. Just
well, not due to original.
Like layout. Like
yeah,
square
I mean,
footage,
if you expecting yourself to have a certain amount of space, day of you lose that space. You cancel day of?
No, but that's where refunds come into play a little bit.
Well, I mean, do you give a full refund?
No, but there's maybe at least a partial refund that should
like
be
a
had
voucher or something?
if someone, because it's not the purchaser's like problem that your math was betting on good weather and we weren't blessed with that to a degree, you know what I mean? And it's not even really that they could have done that math because it is like the unexpected. It's a first year at that venue. They don't know the grounds per se. Maybe even doing some preliminary research on the ground couldn't have prepared you for the mudslides and stuff like that of like having to close off some campsites. But that is where refunds do come into play of being able to say like, well, I mean, y'all gotta hold that L.
Yeah.
That's not me holding an L.
That's true. They still got to figure a bunch of shit out because they have a lot of legal issues.
I would have. I
But-
bet.
Yeah, so
Getting into
they're-
it.
like everything's going good. Third day comes around, and towards the end, we have me and my group have our own little shit that's going on, little like crazy moment. That, but during that, towards the end of that, we just see some dude getting arrested, and then like cops end up patrolling like heavy that throughout that night. Supposedly they made a ton of. They end up actually total inside the venue made 30 arrests
On the
Which-
weekend or that day?
for the remain, because the first 2 days they weren't. You know, we were talking entrapment. Turns out the venue owner, fuck you, Vortex Springs, is actually like friends with the sheriff and shit. Commissioner, and commissioner also has like stock in the local bonds.
Bondsman.
Yeah, shit. So fuck you, Holmes
They're
County.
running a racket over there, huh?
Yeah. So then the third and the fourth day, they actually end up making a ton of arrests if they saw you with. You know what I mean? And festivals are supposed to be a safe place. And I'm not, encouraging like say, yeah, we do drugs, but I mean, like if you're going to a festival, it's like, come on.
It's not the idea that these people think that within these campgrounds that everything's legal, but there is like an unspoken like rule that these are the places where these things are quote unquote acceptable.
Yeah,
And don't get me wrong, of course if it's an illegal thing and the cop wants to uphold justice or whatever they say, then they're within their right to make this arrest. But it is that thing where we have these unspoken policies about these places. It's like fucking like it's not the same thing, but it's kind of the same thing when you talk about like drinking out in the open in Louisiana. It's like there's certain counties that don't fucking like that shit. That doesn't mean that it's illegal. It just means you might get treated a little differently, and they might try to find something illegal on
exactly.
you.
yeah, exactly. It is fucked up. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, the drug usage, but it's also it's unspoken thing, And the thing is, they have medic tents, which I mean, some cases. Funny, the police had no idea where the medic tents were. They weren't there to help anybody. Like they couldn't tell you where anything was. They were not there to help you at all. They were literally
To
fuck
make
people.
arrests.
Yeah. But they did kind of fuck up with the like placement of them. But they also did have a booth there giving out free Narcan and free condoms and a couple other things. But I mean, just for like safety, issues. Narcan's always important, by the way. It's always good. Don't matter any circumstance. If you carry it, it's always a good thing to carry Narcan. If someone is overdosing, you apply it and you can't overdose. So, just something to keep in mind. Always a good thing to have Narcan overdose. It won't cure them necessarily. It'll buy you time until
Arrive, yeah.
can get to them and help them out. But they were servicing that and like providing that. But yeah, the cops just started making arrests that third and fourth day, and also me and my homie Ali are walking back camp, and then basically just see a fire going over the trees. Yeah, you can bring. There you go, boom. That shit was way bigger than that when we saw it though. That was just like an early onset pic, I think. But then we heard one of our I ran into one of my homies that I knew from here, and
Shout out Festival Owl on Twitter.
yeah, I was talking to him and shit, and he was talking to somebody. He's like, yeah, telling them, hey, if you have any homies back at camp or anything, I would go check on them. And he was like, yeah, a car blew up. So a car had blown up, and unfortunately caught 2 other cars on fire.
As seen in this
It
picture.
basically burned up the entire campsites, but 2 of the 3 people still said like, although that did happen, they still had an amazing weekend. So it's just a lot of highs and lows.
Until so the cops.
Like, what do you do in that situation?
So the cops, it got so bad to a degree that it started to escalate to it, because there was a story where somebody was off drugs and attacked a cop, right?
Yeah. That was the last night. So yeah, the cars blew up. That was fucking. Everyone's already.
Was that not the last night?
No, that was third night. No, there was 4
the same
nights.
days, like when they
arrest.
started making the arrests.
Yeah, so it was a rough night. Everyone's kind of like shaking up. Like most of the people that, oh shit, you hear? Word gets around camp fast. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's fucking talking about it. Oh shit, there was a fire in the camp. People left early the last day because of the arrest. They're like,
I'm not gonna wait around for it to be me type shit.
Yeah. Like we're getting out of here. But even some of those people that left that day were getting pulled over on the way out, getting arrested, bro. It's fucked. But luckily, when we left the last day, one of the guys that was like directing people out, he's like, "Hey, if you want to miss the cops, turn right." We're all waiting. So we took a big detour and went around. Fuck Holmes County. Fuck Ponce de Leon. Those police basically said we may have meth, but at least we don't have this shit. Fuck your meth heads and crackheads, and fuck you guys. But getting to the point, from the story that I got, it may not be exactly accurate on this last one. I mean, the last part of it is.
I mean, the result was accurate,
but the reason
what
why
happened leading up to that is
I know for sure they
fudged.
were trying to arrest him, but supposedly they were trying to. This guy was on a few different drugs, by the way. It was like weed and mushrooms, PCP.
Who isn't? No, I'm kidding.
PCP and something else, right? And pretty much, like, I supposedly they were trying to plant the drugs on him. And like then they came up from behind him and like tried to arrest him, and he freaked out on the police officer, and the police tased him, which I think that I'm pretty sure that part's accurate. So the planting drug shit, I'm not entirely sure, right? But I am pretty sure on the like he came up behind him and tried to like detain him, you know?
Right.
And then dude freaked out because he's on a bunch of drugs and was like, "Yeah, no, you're not gonna get me," type shit. Cop tased him. Dude bit police officer's head. Bit a chunk out of his head.
They
And
added to the story that he tried to grab the deputy's gun. That I don't know if I believe based on everything else I'm finding out about this police department. They could just say that. But this is what bro's head looks like. We're going to blur it out because YouTube will fucking crack down on us for a flag or some shit. But we can't show like the actual shit. But if you guys want to look it up, it does not look good.
yeah, dude got a chunk taken. Like, for real, got a chunk taken out of his head. But yeah, dude, fuck those cops, bro. Like, they ruined a lot of people's lives that weekend. Probably that were, dude. They literally, if you want for all of those who are like, oh well, they were doing drugs. They arrested someone for a weed pen and then posted that shit on Facebook like they made the drug bust of the fucking.
Yeah, bro, and
It's a weed pen. Fuck y'all, for real.
I love it when they do that because it's just like they're making laughter out of themselves to a degree for like everyone else to see. It's fucked because it is like you touched on it a little bit, but it was more of a conversation we had before where I pointed out to you, it's like, that sounds like fucking entrapment, bro. Like, you're going to allow all of these people to walk into this festival. You're going to make your presence known, but not actually take action until people get comfortable and start to forget that you're there.
Yeah.
It's very much fucked up, especially whenever you look into the past of the commissioner, of how he's done this before, and maybe this type of event is something that not only he was responsible of, but was maybe the boost to his career that he didn't have without. So there's a lot of different factors where it's like, of course you can take the stance of saying, well, drugs are illegal and the cops had the right to be there and they da-da-da-da-da, but it's like you're dismissing all of the different parameters of what actually happened that weekend, which is a bunch of people paid money to be fucking patrolled and potentially arrested.
The thing is,
it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, they had bomb. I mean, they had bomb dogs there.
Yeah.
And then all the metal detectors. They were. I'm not gonna lie. They did not.
Of course not. They want you to have that so they can arrest you with it.
Well, I mean, it's a different security.
I'm just saying there might have been fucking in cahoots.
Oh, the security team and shit.
Yeah.
Potentially, but I think that was hired by. But yeah, no. Also, fuck Vortex Springs owner because supposedly they are friends with. So for sure, in trap they were in.
There's a lot in the outside of the scope that makes what actually happened there much worse.
Yeah,
if that
and it
makes
makes
sense.
it scary thing because it's like, bro, all these people who are going there, because I mean, people do see us as hippies. And I get that. In a way, we are. But people are just going there to enjoy themselves. There's a lot of beautiful art. There's a lot of things about the community that get overlooked because of the drugs or because of electronic music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of things that cultivate there, like a lot of really cool projects that like happen. Like when you talk to some of these people who have built like some of these businesses, so to speak, businesses for lack of a better word, they're not just business projects and just like artistic expressions in whatever medium that is. In these spaces, it's very inspiring, and it's to create a place where it's like now these people are intruding on that because of an idea that they don't like. The fucking commissioner was saying that we see fucking purple dragons and pink elephants.
I mean,
Like that's an ignorant.
it's
fucking
definitely
stance.
ignorant, but it's just more so. I guess the argument lies in like the Vortex Springs, because if they wanted to, it's literally them sending a message. Because if they didn't want that in their community, they could have said no to whoever wanted to book the venue. No, am I wrong
They
there?
could have, yeah.
They could have said no. This is reserved for this and this and that and that. We don't
Yeah.
want you pink elephant, purple dinosaur motherfuckers coming down to our springs and fucking them up. They could have said that on the initial point, but deciding to allow the event to go on for all of these people to spend not just time but also money on this event, to also allow all of these people to spend not just time but also money to come to this event,
And to the
just
event
for
early.
just for you to end the event early
Because of that
because
bullshit.
of you having a police presence that was a little bit unnecessary. Nobody at that festival was quote unquote in danger for you to be able to have that level of police presence. Like you said, the traffic was not a holdup. It was more so just a line to get in. Like it may be an inconvenience, maybe not even an inconvenience.
That's why you direct traffic. That's part of your fucking job.
It's more so like a message. It's like it's a message to the community type shit from that specific county, from that specific commissioner, from that specific police department. But also, it shouldn't discourage the community. That's kind of whenever you first told me about it, the conversation I was trying to have is the worst part about it is that Soulfest is not going to be able to, like, either not going to be able to withstand this or will never be able to live it down should they withstand this. If they are able to establish themselves beyond this into a different direction and go to a different venue and make it all great again, this is always going to be that blemish on their record, and they're always going to be known for what happened that weekend. Not because of anything they did, but just pick a bad venue.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And it's crazy because like there are some things they could have worked on it and that could have been better, but now those things up sized more because of other bullshit.
Right.
Which the cop shit and the fucking car shit not in their control.
No.
But now it's for sure on them as well as all these other better. Which once again there are some things they could.
Like, instead of being
medic
able to
tic could have
focus
been
on
more-
those things, you have to focus on all this other bullshit, like a fucking court case.
Yes.
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of shit. But like I said, it did inspire me. Honestly, that week I got sick instantly. I was out for basically, but it definitely like brought back some the creative juice. My motivation's back.
Creative cum.
Yeah, dude.
Creative
Juice-
jizzes.
Yep, the juice is blowing out, dude. Burton. Not what I meant. It's all good. But yeah, like I felt like I was in a creative slump in a way. Motivation was really low for a while there. But I think we all go through that.
I think we have modes and phases. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always weird going from, I guess, transitioning from one thing to another. But it's always nice to be able to fall back on the things you enjoy, like people, friends, family, loves, even things that aren't really like the things that you actually attribute your happiness to, which are nice views, good weather, fucking like actually being able to enjoy peace and quiet. There's a lot of things that we kind of misrepresent as and don't really appreciate for what it is, but it builds into the person that we are to a degree. It's like the fucking, like we were talking about the other day, it's just like we're about to be a lot closer to the beach, and it's just like being able to have that luxury of not needing a fucking hour to get to the water type shit. And it's like it is a luxury to be able to be that arm's length away from true what we've deemed in the past to be like a level of tranquility. That's nice, and you don't get that all the time. But to be able to feel that and not appreciate it is almost like detrimental to yourself. But beyond that, it's more important to just like, I guess, kind of focus on what you're talking about now. Is as many arrests that happen and fucking car explosions and fucking money may be wasted depending on you looking at it like it ending early or not being able to get in early, whatever it is. It's a fucking car. Well, I mean, yeah,
All your
that.
belongings. That's
That's
probably the worst.
fucked, yeah.
But
I mean, imagine being the dude next to that car. It's like, I didn't even do anything. This dude's next to me's car exploded. Now all my shit's gone.
Yeah.
But, I mean, either way, beyond all that, you're able to see the creative juices flowing. You're able to see that I actually did have a good experience with the people that I was there with, and I'm glad and blessed to be able to say that none of us got arrested. But I am also understanding of like what could have happened there, and I'm able to feel that blessing type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I want to say this is fuck you to all the people if you're the type of I don't care, bro. I'm tired of all.
To all the people, we'll leave it there.
Nah, yeah. Because like the thing is, as a person, I understand that like there was a lot of people had a terrible week, whether it was getting arrested, and that shit sucks. It's also I want to say not fuck all police, fuck the system for sure, fuck all of those police for sure, fuck that county, 100%. Like the system is fucked in a lot of ways. We can get more into that later, but fuck, I lost my train of thought a little bit.
But fuck all the people that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Specifically, fuck. Like once again, I understand it was a terrible weekend for me, right? And even then, like reading some of those posts, the people whose cars blew up. One of my homies talked to the main dude whose car blew up the next day. He was still just like vibing, ready to enjoy the rest of the weekend. I mean, that's all you can do, right?
Point,
all you can do. But even and then one of the other people, the three, had posted that they were like, I'm devastated. Like I lost all my shit. Regardless, I mean, I still had an amazing weekend. It was still a great time, and I'm still thankful. Still awesome. This is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Is all the people who like to speak for the people things happen to. You know, all the people. Fuck all the, like, don't get me wrong. You could be a voice for these people. But fuck all the people who are like, you read the room. Oh, you had a great time while all these people didn't. Cool. So now you want to discount my good time because there's other people who didn't have a good. How about this? Any good day you ever have, you should just not have the good day. Because guess what? There's someone out there not having a good day. So, you know what? Anytime you've ever woken up and you're like, today's a good day. How about fuck you then? You know? Fuck you for having a good day, and you should never be happy. No one should ever be happy because there's someone unhappy out there. I'm tired of you fucks for that shit.
It's funny because like I'll have to quantify it to several degrees to not offend anybody, but fuck that. It's literally just Astroworld. Like, there's legitimately people in today's society that will tell you how Astroworld traumatized them. Like, you didn't die. There are people that did die there.
I lost a loved one.
And the people's families that lost people at a fucking festival type shit. You, my friend, were 17 fucking 100 feet away from the person that needed an ambulance. You also didn't do anything, but now you're traumatized because nobody else did anything. Like, that's the type of person you're talking about. Is it's like, no, it's so fucked up how they didn't have this many medical tents and this and that. It's like, you're not wrong, but for you to act like you have trauma from somebody you don't know dying at an event that you just happen to be at so far away from you,
you can be empathetic.
You can be empathetic. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but you shouldn't be the loudest voice on this topic. You should allow people to have the scope of what is actually going on. Fucking put yourself back in your place. No one gives a fuck about your perspective. If you have something nice to say, or if you have actually like maybe some type of footage that can push this case forward, that can help the victims, that can help the families of the victims to move forward, great. I'd love to hear from you. But if you're just spouting into the fucking universe that this place sucks because of this, then shut the fuck up. Who cares? Like, write a Yelp review. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to see this shit.
Yeah, no, that shit. I mean, that shit was unfortunate.
It was. I'm not saying it wasn't. It's just the people you're hearing from aren't the people in the families or even close to or the people that were there with those people. It's just like, I was there with my boyfriend, and no, we were lucky that nothing happened to us, and we weren't near what happened, but just the thought of what happened.
Shut up.
It's like, I don't really need this perspective from you. I already thought the thought of it happening being tragic, that already set in. You letting me know that it was tragic is very much not necessary.
Also, just going back to part of the reason I do resurgence of just like looking at stuff like that and realizing really what is important in life. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to get caught up in all of life. Being like, I need to do this and I need to do that. Am I behind? You know what I mean? Am I on track for whatever? I'm like, I look looking around me. You know what I mean? And seeing all these people, like so many people putting their all into some of these projects, all into the love, or just letting go for a moment. You know, people, it's like that, you know, your car blew up, but what can I do?
Yeah.
I might as well enjoy myself the rest of it. You know what I mean? Or it's just looking at it like, I'm still alive. I could have died.
I think what's
but I
important
didn't.
to realize about that question of like whenever people ask themselves, "Am I where I need to be, or am I doing what I need to be?" The important thing to remember whenever you find yourself in that place is the answer is always fucking no, because there's always something that you're not doing, and honestly, even the people that are at the top of whatever field they're in, their answer's always no because they typically have the imposter syndrome of feeling like they don't even deserve to fucking be there. So the answer's always going to be no whenever you're asking yourself if you're doing everything you need to be doing. Just give yourself the grace of understanding that you have the blessing of being able to do it.
But the
You have the
answer-
choice to be able to do those things.
Yes.
It's just doing it.
Answer is though yes. If asking, answer is always yes. You're exactly where you need to be because you're exactly where you. Nothing that can change that in that.
Right.
You can work towards the future, but wherever you're at now, there's no at that point you're already where you are.
That is correct. What I meant by no is like if like you're setting the expectation, then no, then you're not there because you always have something to work towards. That's kind of what I say. It is yes, you are where you need to be because you're always exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
But the answer is no if you're saying, am I gonna like it's kind of like the question of. Am I going to be a great husband or am I going to be a great father? No, you're going to be a horrible one until you fucking do it right and keep doing it and then continue to make that decision that you've done it right, but that's never enough and you have to keep fucking doing it and keep fucking doing it and maybe at the end of your life during your fucking funeral somebody will say that you were a great father. But continuing to ask yourself the question is probably going to be no because you're going to continue finding things that you fucking suck at. And that's important to realize that it's a never-ending cycle and you're always on track. But you're always never on track if you continue to push that forward and say, this is where I need to be, or this is what I need to do, or this is what am I there yet? No, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Keep fucking pushing.
Yeah. There was two things that really kind of inspired me. One of them I didn't really the idea alone that someone had set up at a sign. It was like every night starting at 2 a.m. so and so, and it's called something late. I'm sorry for whoever's camp it was; they're probably not even gonna watch it, but something late night, right? They started every night at 2. They would do it says everyone's a winner. We're gonna games, and that night it was Blow Olympic. I don't even know what it was. I wish I would have checked it out. I seen.
You gotta think it's probably gonna be something along the lines of like. I'm trying to think of what type of game would involve like.
It was probably like blowing balloons.
Blowing bubbles, maybe.
Could be, yeah, it could be. There was a lot of bubbles there too, which was super. People with bubble guns, bro. Honestly, one of the highlights. Some dude was riding an electric motorcycle inside the venue. I was like, how the fuck?
Like it obviously can't be like
He
a
was just
raunchy
blowing
fucking
bubbles.
like a head fest.
No, it's definitely not.
It definitely couldn't be something like super raunchy like that. So I'm trying to think of like what type of mini games you could do with like blowing shit.
I think maybe balloons, maybe bubbles, maybe like fill something. You got to fill something up with air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Filling something up with air and trying to like, I don't know how many can.
It's just a dude who's trying to get his air mattress filled up.
It could be so. It could be so. But it's as silly as that. But that also made me realize like one of those things where it's like a festival. You know what I mean? Like when you have EDC has all these crazy shit. I'm like, that's not what makes the festival. Honestly, what makes a festival more immersive and more cool is the people.
Yeah.
When you have shit like that, people setting up shit like that in camp, and you're able to just walk by, and you're like, the fuck's going on over there, right? People just throwing down in their campsites, or people just fucking doing Blow Olympics in their
It's
shit.
kind of a level of sacrifice type shit because like instead of being a consumer of these artists that have put these sets together that you have also paid to see, you're deciding it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking produce a booth, or I'm gonna put on a show over here, I'm gonna do like my own little set in the camps, and I'm gonna do this shit. It's like you're making a like hard stance on saying, fuck it, why not sacrifice my time to provide something extra for the experience for everyone else here type shit.
Exactly, and I think it's the reason that inspired me is like cultivating an environment where people are able to do weird shit like that, and like that like creates new ideas. Cause like seeing that, I'm like, why would I not do some cool shit like that? You know what I
Right.
mean? Setting something up at your camp for people, like it's like setting up a booth or something for like people to come and interact with. Maybe you know what I mean. Maybe you have games to play, whatever that may be. There was some dude just playing a bongo out there. It got annoying after like a little bit. But just every morning, woke up, dude. I was there until like he would go in, and when you came back from camp, he was there sitting in this fucking chair playing the bongo, bro. Just playing a bongo. He brought that shit into the venue and was playing the fuck. I was like, bro, this is not the place.
Please no.
Stop playing the fucking bongo. Bro.
Hey, do you know who this song is by? Yeah, let him play it.
It was funny though. It was funny, like just little shit like that. But the other thing that inspired me was the guy who ran it. His name was Tyler. We ended up going back later. One of the nights, it was like an afters type of spot. It was there all night, but it was like a lounge area. But they had like a big blow up pool with pillows and shit, and they had like little like chairs and pillows and shit inside the spot. Like it was decorated really nicely, and they had a bunch of art supplies there, so you could like draw or paint or whatever. You know, they had like water markers and regular markers, Sharpie, paints. You know, so whatever form of like drawing you like all there. And you know, sometimes people would bring their poi and just flow and stuff. It's just
Their poi.
poi is like it has strings and there's like it's balls at the end of it. Sometimes you ever seen fire spinners?
Yeah.
That's like how you practice. Poi is like some people just spin it. Some of them have lights and shit, and you can do it.
Oh, I think I've seen.
But
somebody
you
with
could
that
do
shit.
it. You practice like that, and
So
then
that
you
you can
move
do
up
the
to
fire
fire.
torches?
But you don't. Some people don't do fire. Some people just like the poi.
Hmm.
But I mean, you can't practice with the fire.
You should pronounce that P better.
Poi.
Some people just like the boy.
Poi. Like the poi, yeah. But yeah, people could just, it's like, he created it as just an organic like a place for people to meet organic artists, or just, you know, a relationship. Like, you're just like, oh, hey, we have a friend type of thing. It was a really cool idea, and just like being there too, we met one of the volunteers. Their name was Lily. They were super. We told them we'd go back, but the last day we were so burnt that we didn't make it out there, which I feel bad. 'Cause they were.
I mean, the thing that you're not saying is that the fucking sun was out heavy every day.
Oh,
like,
dude.
just beating y'all's fucking
I
ass.
fell asleep in my tube the last day, bro. I fell
Got
asleep.
The biggest sunburn.
Dude, I got burnt, but I was just beat, bro. That shit, cause dude, it's like you want to catch all the music, man.
Came back looking like a Pacific Islander.
You're for real. You wake up at 10 a.m. You know what I mean, dude? And trust me, crazy thing is I ate like pretty good there. I feel like, you know, like I woke up, cooked breakfast, ate breakfast, and then I would go to the pool, and I'd get a meal after the pool, and then maybe even get a late night snack after. But yeah, shit, you're getting up at like 10, probably not going to sleep till 4. One of the days we didn't go to sleep till like 6, I think. Wake up, do that shit again. By the 4th day, we're just, because it's music nonstop.
Yeah.
And you want to check out the other stuff too, like Frick Frack Blackjack, like blackjack, but you barter your items and kind of like barter what's an equivalent change for those items. You lose your items. If when you get whatever the equivalent.
Their barter was.
Yeah. But you want to check out some of the stuff after, and there's Renegade sets, which are just pop-up sets in the campsite from some of the artists that were performing the festival, just popping up at somebody's camp.
That's fire.
So it's just like going nonstop. But that place that Tyler had made, like he said, he started it 4 months ago, and like now more festivals are starting to pick up the liking the idea, and like they'll get just last minute like calls and be like, hey, do you want to set up at our fest? And I think it's a beautiful idea, and that itself is like, you could just have an idea and believe in something, and you never know when it's your time. Some people it takes longer. Some people, you get that traction right away, and it's like someone's like, that's a beautiful idea. We love it, and you're starting to get booked at festivals. He said at first it was just him. Now he actually has a group of a couple volunteers that go with him, and they show up and they help him out. And Lily that we were talking about, they were telling us like, sometimes it is a lot, because they were there till like 4 in the morning when we were talking. It was like 4:30. They're like, I'm going to bed, and I was like, that's reasonable. But they're like, but the payoff you get, like, it's long hours. You're here for a long time, but the payoff you get is very rewarding.
Yeah, because it's
in that
not
factor.
it's not about the money at that point.
It's not.
I mean, it's important to like realize that. I mean, again, there's a lot of statements that you can make that, of course, you can take the context out and you can say that it sounds horrible or it's short-sighted or whatever. But in all reality, if you're someone that doesn't have kids and don't really have anybody that you have to support like underneath you, like, or even above you to a degree, um, there isn't really a need for worrying about money. I understand that if you have kids or if you're someone's caretakers, then you might need to put food on the table for you and someone else, and there that can be hard. I'm not discounting any of that. But if you are in a position to not have to worry about money because there's nobody that you're feeding other than yourself, then it doesn't really, you don't need a whole lot of money. You don't even need to be paid fairly. You just have to be able to know that you're going to be all right. I'm going to be fine. The food's going to come. I'm going to have a shelter over my head that I'm providing for myself. In all reality, I know that rent's getting higher, fucking groceries are getting higher, insurance is getting higher, everything's getting higher. But I mean, in all reality, if you're somebody like this Tyler guy and you're able to do just that and support yourself without there being a worry of starving, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares how much they're paying you? It's like if it's gonna be fine, if you're gonna make it, and like I'm not pretending to know what he's making from these festivals. I'm assuming that it's substantial enough for him to continue going to them.
Well, probably just covers enough for.
And
I mean, he's not having to pay to go to the festival. He's getting booked for the festival.
to a degree. But that's what I'm saying. In that booking, they might cover his travel. They might cover his food while he's there. They might cover his stay. And in that, if he gets enough festivals to cover that in a year, it's like, how much resources do you really need? You know, like, they're covering pretty much everything. The money that you're making from this goes into a bank account you pay all your other bills with. And it's like, that's your job. And your job is just have fun. Doing something that you created. That's cool. You know, it's cool to be able to create something and be able to survive off of that creation. But it was never his intention. He started doing it because he liked doing it. It was not because he wanted to make money, not because. But now he's known for enough to be able to turn it into a business, and it doesn't have to change. It can just be what it always has been. And now he's just making money doing it.
And it was the idea for me too, just creating a community that helps cultivate these ideas. You know,
Yeah.
it helps not only birth them, but help them to, you know, like to nurture these ideas and give you an opportunity to carry that on, give you a space to carry. Because there's like that idea could be outside of festivals. It's just festivals are more accepting of stuff like that. They want that because then people
soft launch.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Right, and you're able to try it out at all these different spaces and all across the country. But
and then you just one person that it comes to your like this random festival in Nevada that you happen to be running this at just happens to run a corporation that supports people like you and small businesses, and now you're on the map, and now you're doing this for all types of businesses and all types of different industries, doing something that you never even thought was possible just because you like to have fun. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because it's like you take the scope of making money out of the equation and you can really cultivate stuff. You can really make something that's fun to do and cool to other people. And who cares if you're not making money off of it? If one day you might, and if you don't, then who cares? You're still enjoying it. Like that's the thing is that like we have a lot of reasons to worry about money. We have kids, we have bills, we have taxes, we have all these things that make us have to consider it. Maybe not worry about it for everyone, but at least have it in our consideration to a degree. But if you took it out of your consideration and just truly asked yourself what you enjoy doing, a lot of times if you just do that well enough, you could probably make money doing it. It's like it's the idea of mastering something. It takes 10 years or what 10,000 days, whatever the fucking number is.
I think it's 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. Sorry. Whatever. The point is that like if you actually take those hours and actually take that time and do that thing, like those hours are gonna pass whether you like it or not. You might as well apply it into something you enjoy doing.
Yeah, like seeing all that stuff. I'm like, man, just bring it into the real world. The idea of just doing something you love, or just allowing things, being able to throw ideas out there, or trying new, giving people the room to grow in whatever field that they choose.
Yeah.
Finding people this idea of this is what life is and has to be. Because obviously there are people out there who don't necessarily see life like that, but it's hard not to when you have life, a majority of life kind of being like, this is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, life can be so much more. For a lot of us, do cultivate these that allow for that room to grow.
Right.
We don't even give ourselves that. Individually, let alone other people. you
Right.
know?
It's just the grace to live, you know? Like, I mean, nobody's done it right the first time, dude. I mean, if they have, they fucking had a blueprint. They're living somebody else's story. Anyone trying to make a way for themselves is gonna be a long list of failures before you ever find out what their name is. And that's okay, because that means that there's just a lot more risks on top of those failures. There's things that they actually succeeded at along the way too. But no matter what, whether it was a failure or whether it was something you succeeded at, it was a risk nonetheless. So take them, see what happens. Fuck it.
Exactly. And being at our age, I think we've talked about it a lot. First and foremost, there's always gonna be something to complain about. There's always something to bitch about. You gotta really take. Don't get me wrong. There's some people that are in a lot of very unfortunate. I know not everyone has people around them that they can lean on or there for support, but you got to keep pushing. Unfortunately, I know at times it can be hard. But you got to do what's best for you, and sometimes you got to take that step back and realize it is. But you got to look at the things that are important, which is self and taking care of yourself. Actually thinking about the kind of person you want to be in this life, taking those steps towards what that means to being that person in life. And honestly, it's hard because, I mean, we're just now probably actually realizing what the sacrifices it's gonna take to become those, which it's not necessarily always like bad. It's just like leaving behind the old life to accept what the life that is gonna be. And
Yeah, but it's that kind of multiplied by you having, I don't know, it's weird. It's like I have had the thought process before where it's like throwing kids into college at 18 or making them go to the military or just decide the rest of their life at that age. It doesn't make any sense. I'm about to be 27 and I still don't fucking know. But I've learned along the way that that's okay and it's fine. There's all these pressures to have things figured out, but the people pressuring you to do that don't have things figured out. They might think they do because they've been doing the same thing for a rinse repeat cycle for however many years they feel comfortable with saying that thing. But the idea is that it's fine. That it's always going to be uncomfortable whenever you're starting something and whenever you're trying something. And most of the people that are pressuring you to be successful aren't really giving a fuck about what you try. They're really only trying to cover their own base. I say that very specifically to parents and guardians, teachers. It's like they really want you to go to college. They really want you to do this. They really want you to do that. But that's based on what they see for your life. How I think the best thing for this kid in education is to continue his education. But I don't really know what his wants and needs are. He might be a fucking millionaire by 15 playing Fortnite, and that doesn't mean he shouldn't continue his education. But maybe it's not anything like I thought it should be. Maybe he doesn't have to go to fucking community college. Maybe he can fucking buy himself into Harvard if he gets in there. Parents will look at a smart child and say, this is a smart person, but we can't afford these higher Ivy Leagues things. And that's a whole scope of life where there are all these expectations of who you have to be before you're even able to decide for yourself. So it's important to shed those things. It's important to understand what you want for yourself and cultivate that person like you're saying. But it's multiplied by you having an understanding of how hard that's going to be, how many people you're going to have to defy, how many odds you're going to have to overcome, and how many tough days you're going to have to go through to become that person. It's not going to be easy, and that's okay. But it's not just not going to be easy. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. And it's never going to finish, as we discussed earlier. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done, and you're always going to be doing it, is the point. Is that once you accept what's best for you, it means that you're accepting the work that it takes to be that thing. So you can be lazy, and you can push it off, or you can be it's not necessarily lazy. It's almost, because I don't want to say people in a depressive or anxiety state are lazy, because I know that there are blockages that are keeping them from doing the things that they know are best for them, and that's something that a lot of times can only be solved by therapy. But also a lot of times people put themselves in boxes saying, I need help or I need this, instead of trying to do things. And I think that has been more of a newer age thing where it's I think there's a lot, not everyone, but there is a percentage of our society that are utilizing other people's depression and anxiety to make sense of their own laziness. That is a person out there. I mean, I've been that person before, but you have to. It's important to understand that there is real blockages in in a lot of people's lives. Honestly, more than not, probably. It's also important to understand that blockage doesn't have to be forever, and that there is a way out, and and again, not across the board. I understand that some of this shit is fucking hard to deal with, but you shouldn't allow hard to mean impossible. You shouldn't allow difficult to mean I'm not gonna try.
Give yourself grace too.
Yeah.
You give yourself grace, and also on that note, you should give other people. We should be very much so more graceful in our lives to each other and to ourselves. It's one of those things. I mean, I'm not always best about it. Both ends.
Yeah.
I try though, and it's just one of those things where we're all trying out here, and it like looking at it, for example, just like with this podcast and me wanting to throw shows. Like one of my biggest goals in life is to create a community where people grow into something more, feel comfortable doing so and having a space to look at and know that they're gonna be okay doing whatever they feel like is. Um, but it's also accepting that that's a never-ending goal. Like that, there's no like it's not like a thing where it's just like I'm here.
There's no destination.
There's
on
no
that journey,
destination. It's just endless, and I'm gonna have to continuously work harder and better to make that happen continuously forever. Like, and like to realize what sacrifices that's gonna make, and to also understand it's not gonna come quick, and also to understand once I get to a point where even I think I've made progress that it's not over, and that's a hard thing to like accept for anything in life, to realize that even when you get to where you think you thought you wanted to be, it's not over. Like life still can, you're like, I did it, but life still continues. So there's still going to be more. And it's just accepting the fact that like whoever you want to be, it's a constant battle every day of being that person, of wanting to be better and not to give in to used to be, or to the person that you don't want to be. Like, it's the classic, you have a decision every day to make.
Yeah.
And it's true. It doesn't end. And I know that's hard for a lot of people. You got to continue to do it. Got to wake up even on your worst days. You're not feeling, as you feel like shit, or like for instance, like when I said I, had no motivation, just like, man, I know what I want to be doing. I just don't have the motivation right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't even know where to begin. Like, I just feel like I'm down. But, like, not necessarily in the sense I'm grateful for all the things I have, but I just don't have that spark in me to keep pushing,
Yeah.
Phases, though. But as long as you have that mindset, like, I want to keep going, it'll come back.
Yeah.
You'll be there. You'll get back on track, and you'll get to wherever you need to be.
Yeah, and it's important to also remember that we all move at our own pace. It's difficult to remember that whenever you're kind of wanting to be somewhere and maybe you can see some people around you, or maybe you don't feel as represented or appreciated in your role or whatever it is. But a lot of times it's really important to understand that there is a way for you, and maybe it's not through the same blueprint someone else took, and maybe it's not going to take as long or as short as anyone else's did. But that's okay. And I don't know. I take it back to a lot of like this mentality comes from like public education, where like people don't allowed to learn at their own pace. There is a pacing of education and of public scope, and people that take a little bit longer to understand certain principles of science or math or English or history or whatever subject you want to apply to it, is like they get forgotten about, they get left behind. And it's tough because that one should have never existed in the first place, but now that it does, it's that much harder for that person to develop their own pace, to develop how they learn, to develop how they want to live and cultivate their lives, because they're so used to being the person that got left behind.
Not built around person, built
Mhm.
around funneling people.
Feeding the
good-
system.
Yeah, to be good.
Right.
I mean, in reality, what would be nice is figuring out what someone's strengths are and weaknesses, giving the ability to that, but also giving them ability and outlet for creativity. Like maybe something they want to do, something that like teaching them and helping them learn the things that they might have strong suits in, but also giving them room to try out other things to see what they may be do. So then that person can grow into something that rather than something that but
Right.
we don't live in that world. Really.
Right.
So you kind of have to find your own way through that. And it's as you get older, it's tough because it's like when you're 18. I'd say 18 through 24. It's like you're still that kid trying to figure it out, and I have to do this. I'm supposed to do. I know what's going on, and then you hit like 25, 26, and you're like, oh shit, this life shit is not what I thought this life shit was. Probably never it would be exactly what I think it, but
And it's really tough because like there is like a whole scope of understanding other people that comes from being social with other people, but there's a whole level of our society that is built off of like being antisocial. Like there's a lot of antisocial people that don't know how to one express themselves or two like entertain someone else that's expressing themselves. And that is a difficulty in itself because how can you really learn how to cultivate the person you want to be whenever it's difficult even expressing that person to other people? Like that's a different scope of like a challenge that people have to deal with too. And it's like I don't know how to give advice to that person because it's like a lot of my experiences in change have come from like understanding either a fault that I had through hurting someone or being hurt by someone or feeling love from a friend or maybe a past relationship or like an embrace of even a stranger at a music festival or fucking like for you, but like there are these different modes of just like social ability that I've learned from that I couldn't even like begin to describe if you didn't have something to tie yourself back to that feeling.
yeah,
That makes sense.
being human is imperfect.
Yeah.
Perfection is,
Mm-hmm.
and learn through our imperfection. Like that's just how humans grow and learn. I mean, you have to figure out what it's. Goes back to the Goodwill Hunting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing I couldn't learn about you, fucking.
Right.
But how you're not really gonna actually experience it for yourself. The
Right.
whole time he's trying to like break down who Robin Williams is
Right.
based off of all these books and that he's read, but like he's never actually experienced it. Especially with love, he tries to fucking riddle him shit
Wave it
about what
off,
love
yeah.
is and all this bullshit. Like you don't fucking know, kid. You think you know because you've read all this shit or you've seen it in a movie, you've read it in a fucking book. But it's they as humans we have to experience things in order to really learn, and because then at that point you're just basing things off of
Yeah.
not the reality of the situation.
That movie's so good because it shows just like it's no matter how smart you are, you can still be ignorant, and it's very important that like I keep saying that, but it is very important for people to understand that like you're never done learning. Like even the fucking PhD can treat people like shit, and that's still not okay. Even a person that knows nothing can be the best person you've ever met, and it had nothing to do with their knowledge. It had only to do with how they treated you. It's very simple to be a social butterfly. It's also very simple to be a piece of shit. And again, that goes back to having a decision to make every day. The moment you decide that you know everything, or the moment you decide you know even better than the person sitting across from you, or you start to judge someone like you're better than them, is the moment that you decided that you're worse than them and that you know nothing about how to deal with people, and that this isn't that's the thing this moment isn't the end all be all of this relationship, and you acting like it is the ignorance involved in this situation.
Never know.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is. It is. But life is beautiful. Just like doing this, just like anything that you're doing. You know what I mean? Do it for the love of the fucking game, dude. Do it for the beauty of it all. Create to fucking bring something to maybe share a moment with somebody. Make a connection with somebody because they like to. It's like fucking maybe go to a pottery class. I don't fucking know. You might meet some other people who are into pottery. might fall in love with that shit.
Why not? You
Not
might
about-
meet your future wife there, or future husband, or whatever.
And don't worry about fucking making money off of it. Just do some shit because you're like, oh shit, this is cool. Like people don't go camping because they're like, let me see how much money. I mean, people do
Some people do.
profit, but like I'm gonna make money off camping. You know what I mean? Just fucking go do the shit because you fucking want to be closer to nature, or because you want to fucking
You
maybe
should
be
set,
social.
You should set intention, and none of the intention should be surrounding money or like even to a degree like sex and things like that. Like you have to really set intentions on what you want for your experience. Shouldn't be surrounded about other people and being involved in it.
That's what for you specifically to for your experience. Life. That's what life is. Fat, big, gigantic. It's that we're all living
Well,
simultaneously.
you don't gotta fat shame it now.
And on the bigger scale, dude, like a festival is
Because
what's
it wouldn't fit on a smaller scale.
because it's dude. That was a good one. That was a good one. But it's, fuck you. The festival experience. It's an immersive. The people that make it an immersive, not just the crazy. But I mean, the lights and the lasers are all fucking sick. Don't get me wrong. But it's the people that make that experience. It's the same thing with life. We all were to immerse ourselves, you know, and like really make this thing something that's awesome. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what fucking life is. It's this experience. It's fucking those late nights with your significant other or your best friend or maybe just yourself staring at the stars, looking at the fucking ocean, taking that long fucking drive. Maybe just sitting alone in your room, listening to some tunes, staring at the wall. Who fucking knows? But that's life. That is life. It's those experiences. It's living that out. It's fucking being immersed in this thing that we don't really know anything about, but we like to act like we know everything about, but we don't. We know very minimal. We're just going based off of some shit that somebody else said or thought beforehand. They were like, yeah, like, sure, fuck it. Let's just do that and run with it and see where this fucking goes. And that's life. I mean, all you could do is just live it.
Yeah.
Experience it. Immerse yourself. Be there. Hold it. Let it go. Grip it. Bop it.
Strangle it.
No, don't do that. I don't know about that. That's not. I don't condone that one. Ending on that note, though, I do want to also say, fuck Holmes County.
Yeah, for the third,
Fuck Ponce
fourth time.
De Leon. Nah, dude, I can't fucking say that shit. I do want to say it's not fuck all cops. Even me and Josh have this conversation a lot. I will say fuck the system, but to all those people who say ACAB all the time and like fuck you if you like a police officer. Some people do believe in justice, and there are people out there who do believe in trying to help their community, and that is the way that some of them do it. So to say each individual person, if you're basing them because they're contributing to a system, at that point, would you rather just all shit people work in the system, or would you rather at least a couple people try? Right? So you got to think about that too. Fuck the system, though. Fuck Holmes County and all of them. I don't think there is one good police officer that works in that county. There might be, but the chances are very, very slim.
Hit us in the comment section if you ever met a good cop in Ponce de Leon.
Right. It's in the Panhandle of Florida. Watch out. I've heard nothing but shit things about the Panhandle of Florida.
Don't go check it out.
Fuck fucking the Panhandle. Honestly, fuck Florida for the most part. I'm sure Southern Florida may not be too bad. I don't know.
Right.
Cuban food might go
The
crazy.
whole state's catching strays just because these fucking cops.
Cuban food might be great. Now, a lot of the people I met out of Florida were pretty chill. They get the vibes. Honestly, at every event I've ever gone to, for some reason I always run into Florida people. They're always the chillest. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I mean, they're probably the most similar to Texas as far as quote unquote freedom to a degree, I think.
That might be what it is.
But I mean,
But they don't have,
they're still a little fucking
Bro,
wild.
I don't know. DeSantis is kind of the guy who's like, hey, if you do this, you will get arrested and go to jail.
I mean, I would love to say something bad about DeSantis, but fucking Abbott just said
Both are shit. Yeah.
Abbott's already is probably worse, right? I don't know. I'm not super into politics, but I do know that there's at least one bill that a whole gender would say he's worse on.
Yeah, I think Florida has those same policies.
Oh,
though.
they do?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
pretty
shit.
sure. Yeah. But they're also number 50. We're 47 in lowest literacy, but we're not 50. So fuck you, Florida. How about that? Fuck you guys. But yeah, it's fuck the system. Not all cops. I just wanted to say that. because it's not like a hatred towards all cops, even if I do say fuck cops, because majority of them do not care about your safety or protecting you or serving. They care about making arrests and getting their police fucking station funded and getting funds for the Mustangs and convertible, the shit they don't really need. So fuck majority of police officers and fuck this. Not fuck all cops though. I won't say that. There are potentially some that I have not yet met in my life, but I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure they exist. But also, if you are a police officer, I don't know, maybe get involved in your community and be a better person. Maybe help some people out. I don't fucking know. Maybe be a little bit more empathetic. I know you see nothing but the negative things, but don't contribute. Maybe you're contributing to a little bit of the fucking debauchery. All right? How about you fucking be a little bit more helpful and get involved, actually protect and serve? It's going to be hard, though, because people don't trust you mostly in any of these communities because of the image that you've already given out. So be wary with that as well. If you're a police officer, know that no one's going to trust you and everyone thinks that you're probably. So unfortunately, if you do try to help, they probably won't want it, but you got to push past that. And you've got to fucking say, fuck that. I'm still going to do good. I'm going to try my best to help.
Okay. Not far off. Also not related to what you just said. But Florida's ban against abortion is slightly better than ours.
In what way? I need you to. It's a weird
I'm
way
sorry,
to word that.
That is a weird way to word that. Florida's 6-week ban was signed into law by Governor Ron DeSantis and did not immediately take effect, but the state Supreme Court considered a challenge to separate measure prohibiting abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. So, 15 weeks. Texas prohibits abortion outright, except in very specific circumstances.
Damn, that's tough. Damn, Florida's better. That's tough.
The only circumstances are situations in which the life or health of the pregnant patient is at risk. Not even so. Again, Florida had a little bit of a different where it's like if the pregnant woman or the fetus is at danger, then they will allow it. This is just says if it's the pregnant woman. They care 0% about the baby after 15 weeks. Actually, in Texas, after you find out.
Yeah, our law. Honestly, it's tough because I know people think that's an indicator of all the people that live in Texas. It's just the governors, I promise you. Well, there are some other people that probably live within the states that are like the panhandle of Florida. But and also probably the panhandle of Texas is
probably not far behind.
Probably not far behind. But it's not an indicator of all of us. But also, I did want to say there was a police officer in Holmes County. There was a thing that someone did bring up. And 7 months ago, they did shoot a suspect in a crime. So, and then they were on suspended leave. So I just want to say those people fucking suck. And once again, I don't believe that there's cops. And I hope they get sued. And I hope that they lose. And I hope that that fucking police station goes under. And that they pretty much lose most of their.
Okay, it's actually 6 weeks, not 15 weeks in Florida. That's much less.
Unfortunately, still somewhat
better than
But what
us,
is 6 weeks,
but
bro?
it's
What is
nothing.
2
You
months?
don't even fucking know yet.
2 months? You don't. Yeah, most people don't know up to like 3 months. So it's like, or later.
Sometimes it's later, but I mean, it
fuck
just
is 2
depends on
months?
the genetics of like whether or not like the girl's showing, or if she's starting to show symptoms, and then actually goes to the doctor to find out, or does the test. It's like there's a bunch of different ways where you wouldn't know in a 6 week period. There's multiple different situations. Like I think my niece, whenever she was pregnant with her second child, she like didn't show at all for like the first 7 months.
That's actually.
Or 6. It was maybe a little bit less than that.
But
like,
she knew though, right?
But she knew, but like she was not showing like at all. Like she looked normal type shit.
Small baby. That baby decided to fucking grow later.
Honestly, kind of big. I don't know. I don't know where she was putting it, but it wasn't showing.
I got a little baby that's growing.
Excuse me? You want to have a conversation? We can get off the air.
So, whoa, yeah. But yeah, stay positive, you guys. Fucking be graceful, be kind, venture out, be strong, dedication,
don't go to Holmes County.
Don't go to Holmes County. Stay out of the Panhandle of Florida. Fuck Florida.
I ain't gonna lie, this video has been like focusing and refocusing like every time we throw our hands.
Let's go. That's fucking.
I can only imagine during your Mellow Man story what it was dipped.
Yeah, there we go. That's fucking sick. But yeah, you guys fucking do things you love. Fuck the money, but also, I mean, do things that will benefit you and your family.
Also, I just noticed that about the video, so I'm sorry, guys, if it's not good. Oh well, we'll figure it out next time. This has been Fine and Dandy. Welcome back. We're back in act, and we're ready to attack like a Sharknado.
Ready to attack in the back, and the red Fine and Dandy in you out of the shack, and you got it going on, and I got to attack, and
Yeah.
you got the racks.
And if you give me those racks, then I'll bring it back. I might just attack a fucking cop from the back and bite his fucking head, dude. Let's fucking go.
By the back of his head, I'm on PCP. He tried to tase me, but guess what? No planning drugs on me, because I fucking bit his head top
I
off.
took them all and also some ketamine.
You know what? I got the gun, but I'm going to bite his top off instead.
Whoa.
Oh.
Pause.
Yeah, all right, you guys. This has been Fine and Dandy. Hope you liked the freestyle. Y'all have a good one. Fucking catch you guys next week, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now. Y'all take care. Fucking love you guys. Until next time.